You rewrite your whole resume for every job you apply to. And that's exactly why it isn't working. The people who actually get interviews do the opposite. They write their resume once, then they spend 5 minutes tearing it. Let me show how. If you haven't met yet, I'm Damon, I'm a project manager, and I spent a long time on the other side of this. 300 applications, more than 50 rejections. I had the cert and still couldn't get an interview. What finally changed things wasn't more experience, it was how I put my experience on the page. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you two things. How to write a single resume bullet that reads like a project manager, and how to turn that into a master resume you can tailor for any job in about 5 minutes. Stick around for the middle, I'm going to write a real resume session live. Here's the thing, when your job search stalls, everyone tells you the same thing. Apply more, send more resumes, grind harder. But volume isn't your problem. I sent 300 applications, volume nearly broke me. The real problem is the rewrite trap. You sit down for each job and you start from a blank page. You rush, and because you're rushing, every bullet comes out vague. Managers help with that, responsible for the other thing. None of it says project manager. So you send a tired, generic resume to the one company you actually wanted. And then you wonder why you never hear back. The trap isn't that you are not working hard enough, it's that you are doing the hardest version of the work at the worst possible time. Once per application, under pressure, on a deadline. So let me show you what's actually going on. A recruiter spends about 7 seconds on a resume. In those 7 seconds, they are scanning for one thing. Does this person do the job we're hiring for? Did they hold a title? Do they do the work? And this is where most career changers lose before they start. Because you have done this work. You've run projects. You've managed stakeholders, you've kept deadlines from slipping when 3 teams were pointing fingers. But you wrote it down in the language of your old job. Operations language, support language, coordinator language. The recruiter reads it, doesn't see project manager in 7 seconds, and moves on. Nothing was wrong with your experience. The translation was missing, and that's the part most people skip. They think they need more experience. What they actually need is to name the experience they already have. Now, if you keep writing bullets the old way, here's what it costs you. Every application reads like a lateral move. The recruiter finds you under your last title, not the one you are going for. And you stay stuck applying to more of what you are trying to leave. So here's the fix. I call it the translation first method, and that's the exact thing I do with my clients. When I work with someone, we go through their entire work history first, we get clear on what they actually did and how well they did it. Then we translate that existing experience into project management language. If you want to work on it yourself, start with your resume. Instead of writing it from the job you had, you write it from the job you want first. You take a bullet you already have, and then you rewrite it in the language a project manager uses. Same facts, same numbers, you do not add anything you didn't do. You just name it the way the job you want will name it. Let me show on a real resume session. Say your last role was Customer Success Manager. Here's the session and here's what happens when you run each line through it. Here's line 1. Before, manage a portfolio of more than 50 accounts worth $2 million in recurring revenue, maintaining 95% retention. And after, manage a portfolio of more than 50 client accounts, $2 million all at once, prioritizing by risk and allocating time and resources to sustain 95% retention. Why it matters? The before describes a state, the numbers stay good. The after describes a decision, you chose what got your attention based on risk. Project management is making trade-off calls with limited resources, so lead with it. Line 2. But before this, let onboarding and implementation for all new enterprise clients. The after is, let end-to-end implementation projects for every new enterprise client. Coordinating across functional teams, deliver onboarding on time. Why this matters? The before names an activity. The after names a project with a deadline and other people. And moving teams you don't manage toward a delivery date, that's the literal definition of the job. Line 3. The before is, ran quarterly business reviews with clients to review performance and gather feedback. And after, facilitated quarterly stakeholder reviews to track performance against goals, capture requirements, and align priorities for the next phase of work. Why it matters? The before is what everyone in the room does. The after uses named project disciplines. It moves you from someone who attended the meeting to the person who ran it as its checkpoint. Line 4. Before, partners with product, support, and sales to resolve escalations. And after, coordinated cross-functional teams across product, support, and sales to resolve escalations, managing risks and dependencies to keep delivery on track. Why it matters? The before is a soft collaboration. The after is the mechanic of saving a project. Risks and dependencies are what kill timelines. So showing you handle them proves you keep things on track when they go sideways. And line 5, before, drove 120% net revenue retention through account management and renewal negotiations. And after, delivered 120% net revenue retention by managing renewal timelines, stakeholder expectations, and scope across the full account lifecycle. Why this matters? The before is sales language. The after is project language for the same 120%. Timeline, expectations, and scope. Those are the three things a project manager is measured on. Now notice what we just did across all 5 lines. Same facts, same numbers. We didn't add a single thing. We turn outcomes into decisions, activities into delivered projects, and vague verbs into the exact words on the job posting. That's the translation first method. And the before was true but invisible. The after is the same truth made legible for a project manager. If you just look at your own resume and realize every bullet is written in your old job's language, I built something for exactly that moment. It's a free 2-minute diagnostic called the PM Career Bottleneck Finder. It tells you the one thing blocking your interviews right now, so you're not guessing. The link is in the description. Go read it after this. Okay, so now you know how to translate one bullet. Here's how you make this fast forever. You do it once, you take every role in your history, and you translate every bullet one time. When you're calm and not staring at a deadline. That becomes your master resume. It's the full translated version of you. And you never send it as is, it's the source. Then when a real job posting shows up, tearing it takes about 5 minutes. And there are 3 places you change, nothing else. First, your profile summary at the top. This is where you earn the 7 seconds. Do 3 things here. Pull 3 words straight from the job description and work them in. Add 1 sentence that links your experience or your skills directly to what they said they need. Then add 1 line on why you want this specific role at this specific company, not a generic role. That's one. The last part is what separates a tailored resume from a mass applied one. Second, the keywords inside your bullets. Companies describe the same skill with different words, and the software and the recruiters scan for their words, not yours. One company writes stakeholder management, another writes stakeholder engagement. Same skill, so if the posting says engagement, your bullet says engagement. You're not changing what you did, you're matching how they say it. Third, what you choose to highlight. Read the posting for 3 things. The soft skills they name, the tools or software they call out, something like Jira or Asana or Excel, and the key activities they keep repeating like risk management or delivery or reporting. Then pull the bullets from your master resume that prove those exact things and move them to the top. The rest can stay, just lower down. That's the whole Tailor. We order to match and lightly reword to mirror their language. You are not writing anything new. You already did the writing. You're just pointing it at this job. 5 minutes because the hot part is already done. One mistake to avoid. Don't stuff it with words you cannot back up. If you write discovery or risk management, you need a real story behind it for the interview. The goal is to sound like a project manager because you did project manager work, not to bury your resume in buzzwords that fall apart the second someone asks a follow-up question. So here's what I wanted to take away from this. Your job search isn't stalling because you haven't done enough. It's stalling because your resume is written in the language of the job you are leaving, not the one you want. Write it once, the right way. Run every bullet through the translation first method, same fast, named like a project manager. Then tailoring any job takes about 5 minutes instead of an hour. And every version you send is sharp. And if you want help doing all of this, your resume, your job applications, your interview prep, you can work with me directly. There's a link in the description to get in touch and see if my program is the right fit for you. So that's the whole system. Write your resume once and translate every line into project management language. That's your master version. Then for each job, you only change 3 things: your summary, your keywords, and what you move to the top. Same fast, name the way the job you want will name them. A resume that reads like a project manager in 7 seconds, in about 5 minutes of work. Go translate your first bullet today. Start with the one you are proudest of. I'll see you in the next one.